Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. Hey guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with a daily coin analysis. Today I'm going to be talking about SXP, Swipe. I did a video on this before, so please check the history if you want to look at my first thoughts, but this has been moving very strongly. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not an expert. Do your own research. I'll look at this SXP BTC pair first because it has a little bit more price history, just a little bit, I think. No, actually it's the same. Just a few days. Anyways, this is a bullish coin, and I think that this has a lot of potential in general. If you look at the SXP BTC pair, I mean, this went really high in the summer of 2020. This was decentralized finance summer. Big blow off top, and just nasty downtrend after that. This is a good example of what can happen to your crypto coins in a downtrend. And this is not even a bear market, because a true bear market, in my opinion, is more highlighted by Bitcoin going bad. Bitcoin is really pumping during this time, and this still went really bad. Now, alt BTC pairs generally do poorly when Bitcoin is strong, but the USD pair was also pulling back heavily as well. So that's kind of like a double whammy. 95% at the bottom from the top. I mean, this is over the course of just a few months too, really, from August to January. And this is a good example too of how brutal crypto downtrends can really get. I mean, anybody who traded in 2018 and 2019 really can resonate with this. And I know I got absolutely fucking wrecked in 2018 and 2019. So it was a good, healthy reminder, actually. This was decentralized finance summer for what can happen, because we had a really nice summer run, and then the fall was just really brutal. But what are we looking at for the SXP BTC pair? We saw a massive downtrend. We saw a rounded bottom reversal here. And this is one of the classic reversal patterns that you can see in altcoins. Alt BTC pairs have all sorts of reversal patterns. They have V-shaped reversals. They have rounded bottom reversals. They have kind of accumulation bottoms where they just sit in ping pong in between. And I have a video on accumulation, so be sure to check that out. What are we seeing right now? We see this 6,800 area as resistance. This was resistance back in November of 2020. There were several days where price could not break that level, and then price just kept heading lower. And now, right, we can see that this level remained relevant even up until recently at the end of March, where it was still resistance. But as I always say, resistance and support gets weaker and weaker the more times it's tapped. In this case, we saw this area tapped over and over again. These sellers were all gone by the time price kept coming back to this level. Those sell orders are getting filled, and price now blitzed higher. I'll take these away for right now and explain them later. Now, we saw a good retest here at the 7,000 Satoshis area, and price is now bouncing. This next level at 10,000 Satoshis looks like the next area up. And when you look also at volume profile, this area from 7,000 to 10,000, really there wasn't much trading volume. So generally speaking, you like to see, you'll generally see some sort of movement like this to fill this area out. But overall, it still has high upside. I mean, 10,000 is certainly my target in the short term. I think it will hit this area. And I like this SXP chart because it's fairly clean. The levels are defined. These areas all seem clear to me, which is important when you are charting and when you are trading, because you want clear targets both for entries and exits. For me, I bought a lot of SXP yesterday on the dip, and I'm still bullish on this coin in general. I mean, there's still solid volume coming in, still even more solid volume coming in recently too. And there are some volume gaps on the volume profile up until about 15,000 Satoshis is kind of like the next significant area. And you can see that right here. Right here. I mean, and it also coincides with this SR level too on the daily. So generally speaking, you'll also see these SR levels coincide with volume profile levels. But the bottom line is that I'm very bullish on SXP. The EMAs also look very good as well. You'll see that this 50-day EMA has proved to be very solid support on the way up. For instance, you could have just bought the 50-day EMA pretty much since February and just like had good entries. And right now we're seeing the 200-day EMA act as resistance. It was fairly clear that this was not going to break on the first go, but what we're going to see, in my opinion, is we're going to see price go higher, and we're going to see this 50-day EMA bullishly cross over the 200. And this is usually a very bullish sign in general. So what I'm looking for is price to go up, test this 10,000 Satoshis area, probably break down a little bit, and then continue higher. So the SXP BTC pair just looks really good right now. I think 10,000 is fairly safe in terms of a target, and potentially 13,000. I am not so certain that 16,000 will get tapped. It certainly could. I don't want to, say FUD or anything like that, but I am staying cautious and being overall just more cautious and conservative with my targets. Could it go all the way higher to like this 20,000 or higher level? Absolutely. I will just observe the market as it comes, but I'm going to keep my targets fairly conservative for now for SXP. But it still looks really good. There's strong volume coming in. Not quite as much volume as that insane run up in the summer, but I personally feel that the big volume is still yet to come here in the coming weeks. So let's look briefly at the SXP USD pair. This again is a good example of what can happen to your altcoins in just a few short months. I mean, from August to basically December, at the end of December, price still nuked down. Let's look. 88%, top to bottom. So, and it was just a few months, and what's very important to also realize is that Bitcoin is pumping during this time. So generally speaking, you'll see alt USD pairs go up when Bitcoin goes up, but this was not the case here. Bitcoin really pulled back hard. Was pumping very hard, and many altcoins really pulled back hard. So the two had a very big inverse relationship, which is why the BTC pair really died as well. But the USD pair still looks really good. I mean, you saw a big downtrend. You saw this ranging consolidation period from November to January, where price just ping-ponged between these two levels. Not a ton of movement, but your first good indication that this is getting ready to move is this big buy candle for volume on the daily. Generally speaking, when you see something like this, it's very bullish. Price moved up, but it didn't really, it didn't really have this massive like 50, it didn't have like 100% candle or whatever. But this candle took out a lot of the sellers at this top part of the range around 120. So when you see a big buy candle like this, it's usually a pretty good bet that there's going to be some follow-up. Not always, of course, it could be a bearish retest, but I think that this was a pretty good indicator in general in late January. What do we see? Price go up from basically $1.20 to almost $4. Heavy pullback in March, and we saw this big ranging price action overall. And my suspicion, let's take a look here. So there wasn't a whole lot of volume overall. Like there wasn't much trading activity between this $4.30 and $2 area. So as I said before, like there is some resistance around $3 or so, but usually you'll see price want to fill these areas out, and that's kind of what happened overall. Was price filled out this area with more trading activity. You can see a still bullish market structure with higher highs and higher lows. There were some steep pullbacks, so this was kind of a scary one to trade with leverage, but the market structure is still intact where they're making higher highs and higher lows. I personally bought more of this coin around, where did I buy it? I think I bought it at 413 or so. I didn't get the bottom, but when you swing trade, you don't have to nail the bottom either. It kind of depends on your trading style, but overall, this still looks extremely bullish. I mean, you can't argue that. This initial swing high at $5 proved to be resistance on the first go, which is fairly normal. Coins generally have a hard time getting through on the first go, especially when you see price action like this, where you see big inefficient moves on both ends, meaning big pumps or big dumps. You'll see the opposite usually happen, where price will explode up and then kind of pull back to fill out that area, or conversely, you'll see price dump and then you'll see price kind of grind back up and fill out the price voids. That's kind of what happened here, where you see price go up to a significant level, $5, and then pull back big. But overall, this still looks really healthy to me. I still am bullish on SXP. I wouldn't be surprised if $5 was resistance once again. Something like pullback to I don't know, like mid fours or something like that, and then go up again. In terms of the targets, again, I don't really want to say what my overall target would be because I honestly have no idea. You could try to fib out this entire range, and that might give you something in terms of a target. Let's look to see what this fib looks like. Here we go. So if you fill out the entire range, 620 would be like the next level up if $5 can get cleared. I mean, this fib will probably work out, in my opinion. Like, in my experience, this usually is pretty good. When you see something like go big at first and then pull back and you fib the entire range, it's good because you can actually see when you fib the entire range, you'll see some stuff like these levels are actually just like SR levels. Like this ended up being like, these are all significant SR levels, right? So that means to me that these fibs are pretty good when they are in confluence with SR levels. And you can see price bounce right off this 786 fib. So I think that this would be my target. And in order to do this, you just do a fib, and then just keep the extensions, the 127, 1.414, and so on. So these are my targets for SXP. I'm bullish on this coin still. And if this SXP BTC pair continues up, definitely use the BTC pair for your targets, in my opinion, because the SXP USD pair right here, you can see it's in price discovery or near price discovery. This is almost certainly going to break past 5. So it's hard to actually tell where your targets will be if you don't use the fib extensions, but they are easier to use when you use the BTC pair. So for instance, if you see price grinding up towards this 10,000 Satoshis area, then you can start to take profits because you'll assume that this area will be resistance. Now, it depends on how price gets there, of course, but yeah, just keep an eye on the SXP BTC chart and go from there. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I appreciate any likes and subscribes. Thank you so much.